Hey everyone here in Madison, Wisconsin, as well as watching this on tape. Hope you're doing well. So today I wanted to talk about accountability. We've briefly touched on it other times, but I wanted to really have a whole discussion based off it. I don't have tons to talk about with it. I want it to be open to a brainstorming session. And we'll focus on accountability from the standpoint of our clients. Like, how do we keep them accountable? What tools, technology can we use? And what things can we do when we see them in person, for example? So let's just start off by just opening up for discussion before I have my ideas, and we'll go from there. So, things that you guys do to keep your clients accountable.
Biggest thing we do is nutrition logs. When they come in for the sessions, they have to have everything they ate and drank between their last session. And if they don't bring it in, we make them do burpees.
So is that for your boot camps too, or is that your private
that's
sessions?
more for small groups and one-on-ones.
Okay.
For the boot camps, you do more like a Facebook group.
Yep.
And you have them record things on there.
Okay. Cool.
I know Chris said before they used like having people check in with their
Oh,
phone
yeah.
when they come to the gym. Not necessarily clients or anything, but just regular people, everybody, gym members, just so they
Everybody
check
who
in.
comes in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get so many check-ins in the month.
So through Facebook, you're saying, or
Yeah,
Foursquare?
Facebook or Foursquare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Okay. Yep. What else?
Just tracking in general, like like what I do with clients is just I record as much as I can, as much data as I can, just show progress. I mean, progress
Yep.
helps people stay on track.
Got weekly weigh-ins, things
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah. So show their weight sets they're doing.
Yep.
Maybe their run times or something.
Mhm.
How long they can hold a
Absolutely.
plank.
Yep.
Stuff like
Yep.
that.
I think I just make sure to keep personal contact with my clients so that I know that they're not just skipping, that if they don't come to class it's because they're on vacation or it's something like that. So keeping a really open communication so that they can tell you exactly where they're going to be. And most of my clients and stuff will say, I'm not going to be here on this day because I have this going on. They just don't show up just for no reason.
I know when your classes get bigger, if you're doing more of a boot camp style, sometimes it's important to have accountability partners within the groups or groups of 3. That's really powerful. Sometimes we'll do it for like 6 weeks. Like they'll have a certain group of accountability partners for those 6 weeks, and they have to keep track, email each other, call each other, Facebook, whatever. Anything else?
Yeah, just like Tina said, texting, calling, checking out if you have a Facebook group for them, just being in constant contact, so that they know that you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
And that's a
Or
big thing.
Yeah, if they do miss, sending an email saying, we missed you today.
Yeah.
How, is everything okay?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Also, just our daily or weekly, group emails is a good thing too. That's what I do a lot of, like with a weekly newsletter. That even though it's more generic, it's still top of mind awareness. And I email out. Probably you guys are all on my email list, and maybe unsubscribe. But I send out about 5 times a week, and as long as you're delivering content, you're not just trying to sell them something every time. They're fine. A good analogy I've heard is, if you're married, how often would you talk to your spouse? Would it be once a week? If you're wanting to have a really good relationship with that person. We're wanting to have good relationships with our clients, so more communication the better, as long as it's valuable. What else?
I think having really strong goals keeps people accountable. So if you remind them of their goals, lately when we've had new people coming to boot camp, if they don't, on their little questionnaire they fill out, if they don't put down really specific goals or just really general, I'll ask them to email me back with one specific goal, and then when I see them at boot camp, I'll be like, hey, how's it going towards being able to do 20 push-ups in a row,
Right.
or something to work towards.
Yeah.
They're not just coming just to come.
Yep. Erica, how was you?
Mirroring what Tennille said, I text people, I teach primarily group fitness, so, and I love it now, they come up to me and they will tell me, hey, I'm not gonna be here next week because I have a doctor's appointment. Because they know if they don't, that I won't be in contact with them.
Do you do group text or just individual text?
I'm more of a one-on-one person, so even though I teach larger groups, I still contact people individually.
Great. Is anybody using mass texting right now? I thought about it. But it seems like it costs like 5 to 10 cents per text, approximately. You can get down to like 2 or 3 cents. So if you're sending to 100 people or 500, can add up over time. If
There's some free apps though that have mass text.
That is
If you're
true.
having a smartphone,
Are there any limitations with it?
I don't think so.
It's a good idea. I'll have to look into that. Anybody know if any are good?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
First, those are the V.
Yeah, I'll put that in the email.
Doesn't work with the razor though. You don't have an iPhone. You gotta throw it back.
Who has a razor?
Someone out there does.
Or
Do it.
old phone.
I got a flip phone, so yeah.
Well, I have much smaller clientele groups, so what I usually do with my groups is I try to actually meet with them for a one-on-one session too, and just make sure that they're in good form and just that they know that I personally, want to make sure that they're doing things right and talk to them about how to do things better and goals and things like that, so just check in with them.
One thing I like to do with like my boot camp runs for like 3 months, so I like to start the sessions a little bit easier and we work up gradually. So we start, like our wall sits start at the beginning in June, they start at 30 seconds. They all know that by August we're doing at least two-minute wall sits. They know that we're doing more push-ups, things like that. So gradually increasing their work so they know that if they miss a week, they're missing that minute 30, they're going to jump from a minute up to, something like that. So it keeps people coming, they know that they can increase.
Something I just did that was pretty powerful was it was for the 6-week challenge and trying to get leaders built up for that. And so I was about 10 people short, 10 leaders short of my 50 goal. So I put out there basically it's a timetable or something like that, and it's a free service. I think it's free, a 30-day free. Anyways, you basically can create your schedule you want to, and then anybody clicks on it, and then they can set up an appointment with you, like a 15-minute phone call or whatever, and you just open up the 15-minute slots that you want to call, or it could be hour slots or whatever. So super easy. I set up in 5 minutes. I put the link out there. I've sent out my newsletter. Anybody who's on the fence wondering if being a leader was right for them, and I scheduled 28 strategy calls basically over. It took 2 days to get those 28. But it was really awesome to call those people up. A lot of them were really excited to talk to me, so that was cool just to hear their stories of how they found out about the program. These people were all from around the country. But it was great market research. I got to hear like what questions they had, and so I kept jotting down the most frequently asked questions so now we can have an FAQ. So those questions at least we don't have to answer again. And it was just really, a lot of times, at least for me now, I've gotten to a point where I'm trying to do stuff in person, but you got to do a lot of stuff, kind of mass social media and stuff. You don't really get to talk to individuals, so it's pretty sweet to talk to people, especially if you haven't met them before, and just kind of get their perspectives on things. Because what you might think is your perspective on things is totally different than what they're thinking. So the point of that is for all you guys who are doing like small group training or one-on-one or have a little gym, just surveying your audience is good, but again, those 15-minute time chunks is enough time to really get a lot of information about the person, ask them how they're doing. I usually start by having them share their story, share for 3 minutes, kind of your background, your history, and you can learn a lot about a person in those 3 minutes. So that's been really cool, and I think it's those people now are potentially clients for life because they were so appreciative. Even like, I think I only closed like 30% of them to do it, but those other 70% I think are going to continue to read my stuff. They're going to be a leader in the future. So you just can never hurt, kind of investing in those conversations. Angie, anything that you guys do over with karate? You got the belts, of course.
Yeah, as far as as far as communication, we're kind of anti-technology, and
Yeah.
a 7-year-old isn't going to be on the internet.
Right.
Or shouldn't be on the internet. So we do postcards, and
Nice.
handwritten postcards that end up on the refrigerator of the kid,
Yeah.
kid's home, so people see it that way. And it's just a happy to see you in class. Good job.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, the art of writing and sending things in the mail has really decreased. So.
There's a good TED talk on that.
Yeah.
Handwritten letters.
I just got one in the mail today.
Power
It blew me away.
Yeah. One of my buddies, one of the most successful guys I know, he's been doing it for like 12 years now. One handwritten letter a day.
A heads up.
He does.
Yeah, I did that for a client appreciation thing. It was huge. Everybody.
Yeah.
loved it.
Birthday cards, sympathy cards.
But
that's
actually
just-
writing them was
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Way better than like send out
Yeah.
cards and that kind of stuff.
that was hard.
It's cool. It's a great idea. And I like, I just think with the karate, like with black belts and different belts, it's sort of like you want to get to that next level. You want to graduate. We all want to like get that certificate and move on to the next thing. So I think ways that we could figure out, where there's different tests. Karate, I guess, it's all test-based, right? You have to do certain skills and pass those. It can be a little tricky with us because it's like, 10 pull-ups or whatever. It's because everyone's at such different levels,
Yeah.
you know. It's not like just doing a kick. I
What's
mean,
the
I don't
time?
know a lot about karate, but
There, you can set it up different ways. We've got like 5 different criteria, and attendance is one.
okay.
You know,
So you could get a belt, even maybe might not do it every single thing perfectly.
I knew a guy that runs a boot camp. Yeah, like at their first month in, they get a T-shirt. At 3 months, they get a yoga mat. At 6 months, they get like a specialized water bottle.
Yeah.
And people would bring them every time. They'd have their shirt, their mat, their water bottle. Like people thought it was like the greatest thing.
Right.
People just like free stuff in general.
Well,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter what it is. Like if you're giving them something,
But if you like have something that you can't buy,
Yeah,
you have
no,
to,
yeah.
Right, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Tough Mudder
No,
headband.
yeah.
You can't buy those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's good. And then we talked a few weeks ago about recognition is a big one, just recognizing people. Sort of a little bit off the accountability topic, but that's a huge thing. The more you can do that.
Well, the more you praise somebody for doing something, the more they're going to do it. You know, that positive reinforcement. If you say this person's a client of the week, they're going to be an
Right.
all-star for the next month at least. I mean,
Exactly.
they want to live up to what you're building them up to be. So.
Yeah,
One
we're
of my
gonna do that.
clients actually asked if we could do the very first workout that we did at boot camp. Of course, I didn't remember what it was, but they wanted to see how far they'd come in 3 months. So it's something if you're doing a 6-week challenge, 8-week challenge, something like that, is remembering what you did that very first day and
Yeah.
redoing it.
That's great. Anybody else? Jack, how about stuff in track, high school track? What do you guys do for accountability?
Coach Enders, some of you people might know her, Karen Enders. She, her and some of the other coaches set up a wall, basically a PR table. And so basically it's a weekly basis for each meet. And whoever gets a new personal best, whatever, she'll put their names up on there. Kind of showing people, they put up in the school so everyone can see it and whatnot. Kind of makes you drive a little harder,
Right.
a little faster,
Yeah.
a little farther.
So that recognition, that's good.
Mhm.
Any last minute thoughts on accountability? I think it's a huge one that sets apart gyms from most of us. What we do is high-end either training or small group training, and we need to have that. If we don't, we're just gonna be like another gym.
For our football team, we have this cool. It's really developed for a high school team, but we have the sign-in. We're required to lift 4 to 5 times a week, depending on if you're in season or outside. And what they do is they have an Ironman club. They go off of your weights for their 3 main lifts. We have cleans, bench, and squats. Basically, they take in your weight and your max numbers and count it up to figure out how many you have a point total.
Yeah.
And if you get a certain amount of points and you're in the club or whatever, you basically get a t-shirt, take pictures and stuff like that. So
Cool.
that really helps a lot of people for football and all.
Yep. Excellent. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we can turn the video off, and we'll get to our yummy food.